Live from New York City, it's Wendy Williams. Today, it's Hot Monday, and Wendy's serving up a full hour of her juicy hot topics. With VH1's Noah Levy stopping by to share the inside scoop on Kim and Kanye's engagement lawsuit. And Rocco DeSpirito is here to whip up some hot, spicy treats. Now, here's Wendy.
It's Monday, but at least it's sunny, so I'm doing okay. Charlie Sheen is in a really ugly battle with his ex, Brooke Mueller. It's really ugly. And then, did you watch Kerry Washington hosting SNL? We've got some of the highlights here today, and of course, the Real Housewives of Atlanta returned last night. I've got my opinion. Let's talk about it more. It's time for Hot Topics. Hope everybody had a good weekend. One of the highlights of my weekend is usually Sunday dinner. I always tell you this last night. I like to start Sunday dinner around 12 noon because it gives the impression of like the old school where your house smells like garlic and onions all day. I made myself and my family short ribs. Haven't had short ribs in a while. Never made them myself. Called up my mom because that's what moms are for. Asked her, what do I do? She gave me the best recipe, and they turned out great. I accompanied with noodles and homemade collard greens with ham hock. Yeah, and crescent rolls. So dinner was all ready and cleaned up by like 7 o'clock, and that really just, opened up the gates to watching my Sunday night TV. But, just a quick reminder before we talk about the Housewives, DMX will be here tomorrow. I know. And you don't want to miss it. Okay, so I can't wait to speak to him. He's going to do the song Party Up as well. Like we're going to couch chat and then party up. So did you check out the Atlanta Housewives last night? A lot of the episode focused on Portia and Cordell and their split. Several people questioned his sexuality to the point that even I was feeling uncomfortable. I think, Cordell is denying that he's gay, but it seems to me that they tried to out him successfully last night on the show. I did not realize that you were allowed to talk so gay to something, you know what I'm saying. So Portia ended up, turns out she'd heard little grumblings in the street about his sexuality even before she married him. But as we all know, everybody's not gay. And so she went on and married him. I was so distracted by her hair in every scene, weren't you? Gorgeous. It was gorgeous, and gorgeous. And I had nobody to do hair talk to because my wigologist was on a flight coming back from LA, and he's the only one, Antoine, who does my hair that I could call, and he totally gets into the hair talk too. Gorgeous hair, Portia. Phaedra, you and Apollo, listen, the babies are so cute, but you and Apollo were so boring. I don't need them to be on the show anymore. Do you know what I mean? I think for me, Portia, or Phaedra became a disappointment because she started out to be this attorney, somebody who you think of as, smarter than the average. And now she's the donkey that she talks about. Donkey, slightly ratchet, all the things that you didn't expect her to deliver. Come on. All the things that we didn't expect her to deliver when this show first started years ago. And then Cynthia always looks beautiful. Always. And I'm consistent this season in saying what I always have. Beautiful girl, handsome husband, boring couple. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Not next season, please. And then I guess another one of the big confrontations of the night, along with, you know, Cordell's sexuality, was Kenya confronting Nene about her ex Walter being invited to the wedding. And then Nene also being upset that Kenya was invited but didn't RSVP. Because she was over in Africa. Remember, she told us that here when she was on the show. I said, did you go or are you going? She said, no, I have to go to Africa. Anyway, take a look at this clip and then we'll continue.
My thing is this.
My thing is
if
this.
we're friends,
as a grown woman,
no, Nene, stop talking over me. Listen.
Kenya, I'm not talking over you. I'm telling you this
listen,
right here. I want you to understand.
I want you to listen.
You give me my personal space. Let me tell you something.
No,
listen to me. As a grown woman, I make my decisions. No bitch that any friend that I have will never tell me who I can and cannot talk to.
And I'm not saying that. I'm saying as a friend, girl.
You know what? When I get ready to have an event, I'm not going to be thinking about whether Kenya's going to be uncomfortable or not. When I have my event, I'm going to be worrying about how fabulous Nene event's going to be.
What Nene is...
There were a few things in that clip that I noticed. First of all, you never violate and touch somebody in their space, okay? That right there was a grown woman punch in the face about to happen. And I'm not even the violent type, but don't get in the personal space. I'm surprised that Nene didn't overreact to that, which in my book, she would have had a right to. The second thing that I noticed in that clip was that Miss Lawrence from the Fashion Queens in the background. Hey, girl. I watched the Fashion Queens. You know, they premiered their new season yesterday also. Plus, they had a little marathon. I saw them on the TV while I was getting the dinner together. Anyway, but back to Kenya and Nene. So this apparently is going to be the relationship that is going to keep us interested all season long. Nene, don't let Kenya pull you back to Nene season 1 of Housewives. You've come way too far, you know, in terms of, you know, your Hollywood growth and, you know, you're back together with Greg. And I'm actually hoping that this might be the last season when you're on the show, not because we don't like you or not because I don't like you, but just because the Housewives are subpar to what you've built yourself to be. And even though the new normal has been canceled and there's nothing like that we know of, you know, popping for you with those sitcoms out there in LA, and you're back in Atlanta to be a housewife, but just watch it because Kenya, if you're not careful, she will pull you right back down to where you started, and you don't want that to happen. And Kenya has nothing to lose because the Housewives is all she has. So Portia's going to be here next week, and I can't wait to talk to her about it all. So I must admit, I had to take a nap in order to stay up late enough to see Kerry Washington on Saturday Night Live. But it was good. She made fun of the recent controversy that SNL has been having where they don't have any black women in the cast. And Kerry, who already plays Michelle Obama on the show, was also asked to play Oprah, and she did a great job. Just take a look at the sketch, and then we'll continue chat.
Well, in that case, I will leave, and in a few minutes, Oprah will be here.
Thank you, Mrs. Obama. Thank you.
The producers at Saturday Night Live would like to apologize to Kerry Washington for the number of black women she will be asked to play. We made these requests both because Miss Washington is an actress of considerable range and talent, and also because SNL does not currently have a black woman in the cast.
I'm here!
As a woman of a particular size, it must have been refreshing when Oprah saw that she was portrayed as a thinner woman than what she is. You know what I mean? That was the first thing that I noticed. But Kerry did a really great job. You know, we love her as Olivia Pope on Scandal, but it's also fun to see her. I always say this, step out of the box and be really funny and beautiful and pregnant and happy and a newlywed and all that stuff. So good for you, Kerry Washington. And Saturday Night Live, you know, it is kind of whack that you all have only had like 4 or 5 black women in your cast since the beginning of the show, since back in the 70s when the show first started. And you've got to be kidding me for us to believe that there are no funny black women out there. And I'm not even talking about the ones that we already know. You know, Cheryl Underwood is already working on that talk show out there in LA. You know, Sherry Shepherd would be great because Sherry's already here in New York and she could drive up the street after The View and, you know, participate in Saturday nights. But there've got to be some auditions specifically looking for funny black women. Audition some. And so, okay, so Charlie Sheen is furious at his ex-wife, Brooke Mueller. Well, last weekend, Charlie tried to stop Brooke from having her first unsupervised visitation with their twin boys since she left rehab. Now, you know I'm all about the mother. However, she does not qualify for unsupervised visits. She's only been out of rehab for 1 month. Brooke is 36 years old. How old is she? She's 33? 33 and has been to rehab over 20 times. Okay, allegedly. Listen, Charlie might not be the best parent and Brooke might be worse than that. But right now there's got to be a grandparent or, you know, the ex, you know, Denise or somebody to take care of the kids. Charlie calls Brooke an awful, dangerous mother, and evil, he calls her, and says that the boys are terrified of Brooke's house because it's filled with lizards, insects, and critters. I wonder if that's before or after extermination. You know, I wonder if they're pets or maybe that she's just negligent and there's always Cheetos and Captain Crunch attracting these things, you know, you know how it is, these things get attracted into the house. Well, Charlie claims that the child services refused to help him out, so here he goes, getting on TV, on TMZ Live, doing a tirade, which apparently is a violation of whatever sealed custody agreement that they have. So they're saying that Charlie might have violated this gag order. Now, mind you, he's talking to TMZ Live with a cigarette in one hand, a drink in the other. He's laying at the pool talking about how Brooke is not a qualified parent. Well, if by chance he's violated his gag order on their custody arrangement, Charlie faces some time in jail and then Brooke could get full custody. This is just really, really messy because neither one of them seem like they're qualified to fully parent at this time. And if I was Charlie, I would make sure that she does not get single visitation rights with no supervisor with the kids until at least 1 year from now, at least 1 year. I would also have a stipulation that when the kids go to the house, that they are not allowed to spend the night with Brooke. She's not qualified. She's only been out of rehab for 1 month. Sorry. And another thing, at 4.5 years old, the twins are like 4.5 years old. If you have kids, you know, these kids are able to give you the basic baseline conversation regarding what's going on at mommy's house. You know, one of the twins was returned to Charlie with a swollen face, because of some sort of rash, allegedly. It could have been one of the critters in the house or something. Listen, I don't know. We laugh at this, but this is very interesting because there are children involved, but these children are old enough to speak. So there can be some sort of adult to say, so tell Miss Wendy, do you really like your mom? You know how we can finagle kids' minds and manipulate them to extract all the information that we need. So somebody get to extracting. Brooke, get yourself together. And Charlie, stop talking. So, this Jessica Simpson, she's got 2 kids under the age of 2. And she looks hotter than ever. Here's our hot shot of the day. Hit it. Jessica Simpson. She looks great. Everything, the face, the hair, the décolleté, the legs. The body's not too thin, it's not too thick, it's like perfect. And there she is with her fiance. I have no idea when they're going to get married. You know, they've been engaged for like 2 years, but she's also been busy popping out the kids. So anyway, they were on a double date with, at this place in LA called Mastro's, where the Italian food's really good. Anyway, she was out with her younger sister, Ashley, and Ashley's new boyfriend, Evan Ross, son to Diana Ross. Also on the double date, triple date actually, it was her best friend / former assistant, Casey Cobb, along with her fiance, or no, they got married, actually. Donald Faison, they got married, they're married. So yeah, a triple date. Fun. Jessica, you look beautiful. Yeah. Do you watch the client list on Lifetime? Clap if you do. Clap if you do. Well, you won't be watching it anymore because it's canceled. I'm so sorry to hear this. Not enough people have been watching. It's been canceled after just 2 seasons. You know I love Jennifer Love Hewitt and Love, Loves, Love. Anyway, the show's ratings have dropped from the first season into the second season, but allegedly sources are saying that the real issue may be Jennifer herself. According to Deadline on Deadline.com, she reportedly angered executives at the show by trying to create a bigger role for her fiance / baby's father, Brian. And you know, it's been my experience throughout my career. You know, I've seen people who, you know, you might have a pretty decent talent, but if you are a BI or a diva or that, sometimes your behavior and your pushiness is the difference between people wanting to end your project or people wanting to, you know, oh, she's a nice girl, let's keep it going, let's give it a chance, let's believe in her, she's so nice, she shows up on time, she's not trying to push her fiance into a role, you know. So I guess no one will ever know the real reason that the show was canceled, but those are some things that are out there, and I'm sorry to hear that Client List is canceled. Jennifer Love Hewitt. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, everybody, moving on. There are two. Do you watch the show American Horror Story? Oh. That was the response I was expecting when I asked about the client list. Anyway, it's about, the story that I have for you is about two of the young actresses on the set. According to the Star magazine, Emma Roberts, niece to Julia Roberts, daughter to Eric Roberts, and Gabourey Sidibe, friend to the show, Precious, apparently had a major confrontation. And allegedly, it's all Emma's fault. Well, the word is that Emma is an entitled terror on the set, that her diva attitudes are catching everybody, you know, off guard. I mean, there are some really highfalutin actresses who work on this show, including, but not limited to, Angela Bassett, Jessica Lange, and many others. And now here comes this young Hollywood girl, this Emma Roberts. Now she's like 26, you know, she's a younger girl. Gabby reportedly has had enough of Emma's self-entitlement, rude behavior, and attitude, and went up to her and, you know, I guess, you know, told her that you need to calm down, girl. We're all lucky to be working. You aren't more special than anybody else. Well, Emma reportedly backed down. No word on whether Gabby was the sacrificial lamb representing the whole cast to, you know, to go tell Emma about herself, but she backed down. I can partially believe this story, though. You know, sometimes, like, when people grow up with a bit of entitlement in their own bubble of privilege, they don't really realize how it is out here for the rest of us. We need a makeup sponge for Gabby. Just a little, yeah, just a little, you know, please, we all get a little shiny. Somebody didn't warn her. Just a little something, something. Anyway, good for you, Gabby. She always says it like she means it. And shout out to everybody over on American Horror Story. So, okay. Do you watch Matlock? No, don't clap if you don't mean it. I watch Matlock every weekend, and to me, there is nothing better than a Matlock marathon. And I can tell you where I watch it. I watch it on WGN, that's America's station, and I watch it from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock on Sunday mornings. That's me, I'm that girl. And here's what I love about Andy Griffith, the dearly departed, who played Ben Matlock. Matlock was a cerebral show about fighting crime through clues, not about pulling out guns and car chases and shootings and stuff. He just an old man asking questions, very soothing. And I also like to watch it now because, you know, I see a lot of the people who were on TV back in my day, like you see the old cars like Vegas and, you know, and Pacers. And then yesterday I was watching one, Ken Kercheval. You remember him? He was on the original Dallas. Ken Kercheval was on there. Like, you get a chance to see all kinds of people from back in the day. So I say all that to say I love Matlock. And being that I'm telling you I love Matlock, you must also know I love Murder, She Wrote. Because, I'll tell you why. Jessica solved crimes just like Matlock. No guns, just clues and being a busybody. And I love that. Well, that brings me around to the topic at hand because Oscar winner Octavia Spencer is going to star in NBC's remake of Murder, She Wrote. Well, she is going to reprise the role of Angela Lansbury. You know, she once made it very famous. It's funny thing about Angela Lansbury, she's always looked old even when she was young. Like, here she is at 28, right? Anyway, back to Octavia and playing this role. There are some roles that do get messed up because they try to cross-pollinate the colors. Like, I'm a fan of The Honeymooners. I didn't like when Ed and Ralph did the remake, and they were played by Cedric the Entertainer and who? And Mike Epps. Okay, there are 3, and also remakes are sketchy. Sometimes you have to squint your eyes and say, will it work? Well, some of the remakes have worked, like Hawaii Five-0, Dallas, and 90210. But some of the remakes haven't worked, like The Bionic Woman, Knight Rider, and Ironside with Blair Underwood that was canceled after only 3 episodes just a few weeks ago. I think that this Murder, She Wrote with Octavia Spencer is going to work. Octavia is going to play a hospital administrator who's also a mystery writer, who's also a busybody. That hopefully there'll be no shooting, no car chases, just a smart woman looking for clues. And I, for one, will be watching. Yes. So, Halloween celebrations continued over the weekend. Heidi Klum threw her 14th annual Halloween bash. Everybody who's anybody gets invited. This year, her costume was to transform into an old woman with the help of 5 makeup artists. I just think this is so great. You gotta, look, not just the funny thing is that old Heidi still looks like young Heidi, doesn't she? Don't you still see Heidi in there? Look, she pulled up in her old lady car. And she's got varicose veins, and look at her, yep. And she's got wrinkly knees and liver spots on her hands. It's perfect, Heidi, perfect. And then Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy became friends while doing that movie, The Heat, last year, and they went incognito to take their kids trick-or-treating. Now, I wouldn't recognize the ladies, but I would definitely recognize Sandra's son. This little boy is so cute, but you never see him smiling. He always looks like he's pissed at the world. Anyway, and then Honey Boo Boo and her family dressed as that Kardashian family. Yes. Boo Boo is playing Chris, and her mom is playing Kim. And I best I can tell, I guess that's Bruce right here. I can't tell. But happy Halloween. I'm glad it's over. All right, we've got a great show for you, everybody. Our Hot Topics Hour continues. Noah Levy is here with the inside scoop on from In Touch Weekly magazine. He's going to talk about the Justin Bieber scandal over the weekend. So keep it here, because we'll be right back. Inside Scoop here with the juicy celebrity news is senior contributing editor of In Touch Weekly magazine. Say hello to our friend Noah Levy. Hey. Noah. All right, let's get right to it. Justin Bieber over the weekend, Brazilian brothel.
Yeah, oh geez. All right, so this doesn't look too good. Now, Justin Bieber allegedly went into a Brazilian brothel, as we all do in Brazil. But that does not mean that he did anything wrong. Now, the interesting thing, we're being nice. Now, the interesting thing is he did walk out of that brothel with a sheet on his head. Now, this is confusing to me, because when you go in a brothel, you can sleep with the women, but don't they have a rule against stealing the sheets?
Well, from what I understand, though, the brothels are legal, not illegal over there.
Exactly.
And the 18 is the age of consent.
As of age, yes.
So he wasn't doing anything wrong, technically speaking.
Legally.
So what's the concern?
Well, the concern is, you know, he did actually walk out of the alleged brothel with 2 women from there, which doesn't mean anything either. Maybe.
Well, it means everything, but what has he done wrong?
Well, what people are fearful about is his fan base. you know, people are scared that this could affect the young girls out there that idolize him, and I don't think that they're gonna care.
I was gonna say, I don't think that they're affected. These are the same young girls who wanna be hot, pantyless cheerleaders for Halloween.
Exactly.
These are the same, that generation, not all of you watching, but a lot of you all are trouble, just like Bieber is.
They are trouble, all of you kids. But it's true. You know, it's nothing's gonna happen. If this was a girl walking out of a brothel, the world would turn on her.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Now let's talk about the trouble at the concert.
So, all right, this was the only bad thing that happened while he was on tour there is that while performing, someone threw a bottle at his head.
Okay.
Ouch. That doesn't, I think you have some footage. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know. You know what? That's the same look I would give. But really, Bieber, put a shirt on. I would say wait till you're 23. You're 19 now. I think you're pushing it a little too hard.
His fans love that, though.
I know, but you're not Marky Mark. You're not yet.
Yeah.
You have many things. You have talent. You have skill.
I don't know that he'll be around when he's 23, so he's got to do all that stuff now. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's like a crash and burn.
Do you know where he's at right now?
No.
He's where Britney was right before she met K-Fed.
Yeah, okay.
It's that point in his career.
All right, we'll keep watching. Now let's move on to Kim Ye. They're suing something over something or another?
Exactly.
Okay.
So Kanye West proposed to Kim in that giant, what is it, baseball, football, golf stadium. And allegedly, or not even allegedly, there were contracts saying that nobody could release any video footage. Now, Chad Hurley, who is one of the founders of YouTube, was there, and he did leak video footage of the proposal.
Oh.
Now, Kim and Kanye have decided to sue him for unspecified damages for not agreeing to what he wasn't supposed to release anything.
It sounds like they have a right.
They do have a right. They have a case. Is it worth it? No. I mean, really, who cares?
Really?
So, who cares? Get over it. Now,
I'm over it, believe me.
No, I'm over it. The interesting thing is, this was all shot on film for their reality show. I think if anyone's mad, I think it's maybe the network that they didn't get the exclusive.
So now what's the deal with Kanye calling all the shots for the wedding? He's a groomzilla?
He's a groomzilla. Now, Kanye is a man who has good taste and style, but he also wants to call the shots on his wedding. Now, Kim has been married about 17 times. I'm kidding. 3 times. So I'm not sure if she's going to have as many demands for this wedding, but for Kanye, since this is his first...
He's not going to allow her to. He's going to tell her to shut up.
Exactly. You know that he's going to want her being like Givenchy, Couture. He wants fighter jets in the sky. He wants Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Okay, next, let's talk about Robert
Beyonce.
Patterson.
Yeah, over it.
Robert Patterson and Kristen Stewart.
So they're back on. Is this a surprise? Not really. I don't see them with anyone else.
I am surprised. I am so surprised that as a young man like that is so enamored with Kristen Stewart after what she did to him. And cheating is a two-way street. You know, men cheat and women cheat. But they are so young that they shouldn't even have to deal with the complications of a relationship this tumultuous at their age.
I know. It's a really like a mesh codependent relationship.
How old are they again? Remind everybody.
I think they're like 7. No, they're like 23, 24.
Too much.
So she was seen, get this, which I do love about her, in her blue pickup truck leaving his house.
Oh,
so I love that. I love a regular girl.
Is that him behind her?
Yes, that is. That's so country. I love that.
Yeah.
Now, it's interesting because during this reunion, guess who else is speaking out for the first time? Miss Liberty Ross.
Oh, the scorned
wife.
What is Liberty saying?
Well, Liberty just spoke out to Vanity Fair, saying that she only had 20 hours before the pictures were released.
Of her husband
with
/
Kristen
baby's
Stewart.
father.
Yes.
With Kristen Stewart.
So you have less than a day to emotionally and physically process all of that. Now, her friend actually got her a publicist to help protect her. She went hiding with her children. And she says words cannot even describe the emotion that she felt at that time. But, you know, it's like 2 years later. She said she's forgiven him.
Has she taken him back?
No, she has not
So
taken
that
him
means
back.
that they're probably co-parenting like civilized people.
As they should. She handled this so well.
She's like a lady.
Like a lady. There are other women out there that put the ex on blast within 4 seconds.
Okay.
She handled it.
She's no Brandy Glanville.
I was gonna say it. I was gonna say it, but then I knew Brandy would blast me on Twitter if I did.
Noah, thanks for the tricks and the treats.
Thank you.
For more information on all these stories, go to wendyshow.com. Be sure to check out Noah. He's got a VH1 show called The Gossip Table. Up next, everybody, we hit the streets to see what Wendy viewers have to say about some of our favorite hot topics. Don't miss it. If you think I'm opinionated, wait until you hear what the streets are saying about some of our favorite hot topics in our latest edition of Street Talk. Take a look.
The two celebrities I think should make a love child are Miley Cyrus and Robin Thicke because they have such great chemistry already.
Charlie Sheen, Lindsay Lohan. Yikes.
Two celebrities I love to see make a love child, 2 Chainz and Whoopi Goldberg, because I love to see a dreadlock baby.
CeeLo Green and Lady Gaga, because why not multiply the weird?
The celebrity that I would cast as Christian Grey on 50 Shades would definitely be Eddie Cibrian. He's so fine, and he could just do anything.
Bruce Jenner, because he's probably used to being tied up and held captive.
Adam Levine, because I think he's a little naughty, and I think he can be cleaned up as a businessman rather quickly.
Zac Efron, because he's super cute and he can tie me up anytime.
Throw Flavor Flav in there. Everybody go see it. I'll pay twice to go see it.
The celebrity I think has the best butt in Hollywood would have to be Rihanna. She's got that Caribbean flavor.
Bradley Cooper. Yum, yum, Bradley.
I think that Jennifer Lopez is the best butt in Hollywood. She's like the original butt out of all these new butts.
The celebrity that has the best butt in Hollywood, hands down, is Kim Kardashian.
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 Kim Kardashian. She's literally sitting on a fortune. And I'm not even talking about Kanye.
The streets are always talking and we're always listening. Keep it here. Up next, it's time for Ask Wendy. Welcome back. It's time for Ask Wendy. How you doing?
How you doing? Hi, I'm Anisha and I'm a makeup artist. So my face is my best advertisement, yet every guy wants me to be more natural. Should I be natural or should I just focus on my career?
Well, you makeup artists, you do wear a lot of makeup.
Right.
And I think that, no, but you have to sell your product.
For sure.
So when you're at the makeup counter at the department store or wherever it is that you actually sell, I think that when you're on the clock, wear as much makeup as you can pile on because we girls always want tips. And we understand as women that it's exaggerated on you, but you're advertising. But guys like a cleaner face. However, there's some guys who just like it so natural that, no, I'm not doing that.
I like to be beat down.
But I would say don't beat down so hard.
Okay.
You know, not so much makeup. It's a turnoff.
Okay.
You know, it's a turnoff to guys. All right,
Sure.
very well.
All right.
How you doing?
How you doing, Wendy? My name is Kia, and I have an 18-year-old daughter. I just recently moved my boyfriend in of 2 years, and she is now hating on my relationship. What can I do to get her to grow up and let me enjoy my bed with my man?
This sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Yes.
I mean, it really does. Now, is he younger than you?
No,
Kia?
he's about the same age, two years older.
Okay, so you're both in your 40s.
Yes.
When is your daughter moving out, going to college or something?
Next year, 2014.
I wish that you had waited until she moved out before moving him in. But what you can do is make sure that you recognize that she is there. And if anything, show her even more attention and more love. Because like I said, recipe for disaster, always make sure that she's wearing a gigantic woolly robe when she walks around him. Okay. I don't want to see him in his drawers sipping orange juice by the light of the refrigerator. I mean, this is really a recipe for disaster if you don't play it right. I wish you had waited a year until she goes away to college, but since you didn't, just keep your eyes open and your ears close to the door and keep your clothes on.
I know that's right. Thank you, Wendy.
You're welcome, Kia. Oh, we have time for more. Hi, come on out. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. So I have a coworker who constantly wears the same outfit, like constantly, like 4 times a week.
Is this a woman or a man?
It's a female.
Okay.
So I just wanted to know exactly, because I just don't think it's professional. I just wanted to know how I can, bring it to her attention. Like, okay.
Well, does she put a remix on it? Like, you know how when you read Glamour magazine, they have like one dress, but they remix. Is she smelly and musty and fishy? No, come on, I'm talking.
No,
Okay, so she's not smelly.
She's not smelly, but I just don't think, we're all like, really nice coming into work.
I don't
We're
know.
not all-
I would back off. Who's her best friend at work? Maybe that person could say something to her.
Yeah,
You
because
know.
I don't want to come off as being a mean girl.
Yeah, you will. She's not going to understand, and as long as she's not smelly or musty.
No, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Leave her alone. Great. Up next, everybody, celebrity chef Rocco DeSpirito is here. Rocco's going to help us learn healthy twists on some of our favorite food, including spicy ribs. Keep it here. We're back. No Hot Topics Hour would be complete without a hot food and hot guy.
I don't think I was supposed to do that,
so
right?
please welcome to show us a healthy twist on some of our classic American dishes. Our friend to the show, Rocco DeSpirito.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, Rocco.
I think I just photobombed you on live television. I did. I think I'm the first. I love it.
So tell me how things are shaking over there at the Food Network, your reality show.
The Food Network. I started my career there, and it's like the prodigal son. I've come back home.
We love your show.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I heard that you had a Halloween costume to inspire.
The Halloween costume was inspired by the show. The show's called Restaurant Divided. I literally cut restaurants in half.
With
a piece
tape.
of tape. Yeah,
Yeah.
I split them down the middle. So I decided to do gender divided. I was half Guy De Laurentiis and half Guy Fieri and Giada De Laurentiis.
I love
so
it.
I was Guy De Laurentiis.
Very
Yeah.
creative.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started with our food today. What are we making?
Today we're making healthy barbecue. We're making healthy coleslaw. We're making healthy snacks for Super Bowl and football weekends. And then I made a funny cupcake for you.
Okay.
So
well,
this is how it's done.
the barbecue. Okay, these are pork ribs.
So yeah, these are pork ribs, and now simply by choosing the right rib, you can reduce fat content by 30%. Most people like spare rib or St. Louis style ribs, which is this.
Okay.
I choose, St. Louis style ribs. I choose baby back. Baby back are 30% less fat. You can see the difference.
Okay.
So
wow.
in the sauce, you got to make a good sauce. That's a trick to barbecue. In the sauce, I put sugar-free teriyaki. I put garlic.
I'm watching this really closely because I'm seeing, do you see the calorie difference? If you do it your way, they're about 990 calories. If you do it Rocco's way with Rocco's meat, 319 calories. That's a huge difference. I made short ribs last night for the first time.
I heard that. How'd you do that?
They were really delicious. I browned them in the pot, and cooked them all day.
That's the way it's done. Yeah, you brown them and you braise them all day.
By the way, there are two things that I always said I wouldn't eat on TV, and ribs wasn't one of them.
That's good.
It's fried chicken and watermelon on account of my brown. So when you see me eat ribs today, just remember, ribs were not on the Wendy won't eat on TV list.
But I'd like to think you would eat anything I'd make for you on TV.
I would,
don't know.
but
I'd like to be the exception to the rule.
Do you know how to make crow?
No. Teach me how to make it.
I don't know.
Are you talking about crow as in a joke?
Yeah, I made myself a bet. I might have to eat crow on the middle of the TV right here.
Oh my goodness. Tell me what happened.
Why are you making this in the oven?
Tell me what happened.
No, I want to.
You can't tell me that story?
No, Kim and
Okay,
Kanye.
all
I
right.
said he'd never marry her. He asked her to marry, and I said if they do, I'll eat crow on TV. But I'm not going to eat it until the 73rd day of their marriage. And then I want to have somebody come in and prepare it. Why are you making this on top of the stove and not in the oven?
I've seen them. They seem very happy together.
They do.
Just so you know, they seem genuinely.
Enough about
in love.
them.
Anyway, all right. So this is the way you do it when you can't do it outside. So
Yeah.
let's say it's winter. You want ribs. You first blacken them in a pan like this. That's blackening spice. Then you take that sauce we just made. You put this in a piece of foil, and you pour the sauce all over it, right?
And now you're going to put it in the oven.
Exactly. Then I put it in the oven.
I love it.
Then I make a foil pouch.
Okay. And how long do they cook in the foil
This is what they're
pouch?
like when they're done, by the way. You got to do it with your... How are you going to do it? Let's see how she does it.
Wow.
Ah, nice. Tender, juicy.
First of all, I love a baby back rib, so I was on the right path. But the sauce is dynamite.
So look how this comes out after 2 hours in the oven. Super tender. And you already talked about the calorie difference. The calorie difference is 600 less calories. That's a big difference.
This is giant. All right, let's move on to this.
Moving on to the coleslaw. So everybody loves coleslaw. The way I do it, you need a napkin?
No.
You want to use my shirt?
Keep going.
Broccoli slaw. And this is something you can buy.
I
Obviously,
love
it's
broccoli
yep.
slaw. They have it at my King's.
Exactly.
I get it all the time. It's crunchy and it lasts longer than regular.
Exactly. And I season it with some good stuff. It's got sour cream, lime juice, lime zest, sriracha, that kind of thing.
I like a drier coleslaw. I don't like my coleslaw wet.
You want me to do it over?
No,
Is that what you're saying?
no, this is good. Come on.
And then I made some treats. These are loaded potato skins. And I made you a cupcake. Look at that cupcake that I made for you.
Oh, this is so cute.
See, a red velvet cupcake.
Wait, first of all, this is really good. The potato skins.
You have to try one of these.
All right, I want to do a skin too.
Oh, just go for it. Here you go.
All right,
Take a bite. Yeah.
Hold on. These are good.
Now, the cupcakes are usually 300 calories. These are only 77, and they only have 1.5 grams of fat. They're completely sugar-free. You can eat as many as you want.
Oh, good.
Isn't that good?
Really good.
Isn't that good? The wig, a few extra calories, though. Yeah.
The wig. Very creative. Thank you, Rocco, for being here.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
Go to wendyshow.com for all these great recipes. Rocco, everybody, has a new show. It's called Restaurant Divided, Thursday nights at 10 on the Food Network. We'll be right back with the Instaglam right here, winners of the day. Welcome back, everybody. It's time for Wendy's Instaglam. The celebrity look of the day is Rihanna, who's rocking the camouflage trend, which I love. She is matching her camouflage crop with a pair of army fatigue heels. It's a really sporty look. I love it. Today's Instaglam winner with her own twist to the camouflage trend is Nadia from New Jersey. Her camouflage is with the pants and then the furry vest and the gold-studded belt. Nadia, we are sending you a mini diva fan. Thank you so much for being our Instaglam winner of the day. Be sure that you guys follow me on Instagram, okay? Because you could have a chance to be our Instaglam look of the day as well. We'll be right back. Don't miss my special one-on-one with rapper DMX. We're gonna find out how he went from the very top of the rap game to hitting rock bottom. Plus, we're also gonna be joined by Swiss Beats, and they're gonna perform that song Party Up. I love you for watching today, and I'll see you next time on Wendy. Bye!